Yeah, just a great overall effort from both the offense, our defense, and our pitching staff. Obviously, we faced one of the best pitchers in the country, and just fought him and put some big swings on him and hit a couple home runs, and did a nice job of taking pitches, fouling pitches off, and had his pitch count up pretty good after 3, and I don't know, just didn't make any mistakes in the field really, and they made one, ended up costing them a couple runs, and we took advantage of it. We score on a play that was thrown down the line, and then Davlin singles in the next run, and all of a sudden we had a 4-run lead. But yeah, just a really good effort by everybody, especially after the way the game went last night, and then obviously facing their ace and someone who could be voted in as the SEC pitcher of the year. Just really proud of our team.
Hey, when they put 2 of the first 3 on against Fouts in the 8th, you had Vitalseas up. What made you stay with Fouts, and then what did you think about how you responded?
Yeah, we were looking at the matchups a little bit, and I think it was just in his favor. I mean, he hit the first batter. We're thinking, obviously that's not good, but his stuff was good. Velocity was good. I thought he settled in, and obviously we got the big double play ball, and that changed it. We were at the time, I was thinking, okay, if we can just get to the bottom of the 8th with a 1-run lead, and then a couple pitches in, we get a double play ball, and that was huge. But yeah, we had Cheese ready to go, and we weren't afraid to use him. It'd have been more of probably a different look than maybe when he starts. I think he'd come in and maybe throw a lot harder, and it would just be for a short period of time, and I'm glad we didn't have to use him.
You've been able to get some of the number 1 guys' pitch counts up, but sometimes they'll kind of get off the hook and they'll be able to give you some or have some distance. What was the difference tonight?
Just, I don't know. We've seen some good lefty. I mean, last week at LSU, we kind of saw the same type guy, and we fought him pretty good at midnight, and had a lead, had a 4-2 lead when they took him out, or had a lead and didn't hold it. But I thought we did a great job last weekend against him, and a little bit of that, just a lot of planning on how we wanted to handle him, which is, see the ball down, the fastball, easier said than done when the thing's riding, and you have like this much time to figure out if you're going to swing or not. And the first inning we didn't do a great job, but after that we did, and that's how we got his count up. Then he had to start throwing the fastball down a little bit, and then he went to a lot of off-speed late, and his off-speed's good, but we took some borderline pitches, and again the number just kept going up over there.
And Iredale gave you a home run, but gave you his body diving into the wall. I mean, what do you think about the effort from him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first off, the home run was awesome. He's the one that got jammed last night with the bases loaded. We had it with 2 outs. We had a chance. He was just a little bit late, and the whole thing we talked to him about today is don't be late, let it fly. Go for it. And he got that one. I think it was a 3-1 pitch maybe, and the diving effort. I mean, if he'd have been playing a normal third base, it'd have been an easy catch for him, but he was playing over the shortstop area with a little bit of the shift on there, and one of their best hitters up, leads the league in home runs, and man, if you can get him to pop out on a check swing, and Iredale went for that too, and he just made an incredible catch, and he slid hard into the pad, and I was worried about his neck a little bit and the shoulder. He was pretty scraped up, but it was just an incredible effort and a great play, and the team loved it.
Is Iredale okay after that play?
Yeah, he's fine. Just needed a minute to catch his breath, and yeah, I mean, wouldn't you know it, the next 3 pitches later, the ball's hit right to him. Of course it was, and he fielded it, made a nice throw, and we're like, oh, he seems to have his bearings. He seemed to make that play look pretty easy, so it was good.
I guess, what have you seen from Gibbler recently that's impressed you to put him in a pretty big spot there?
Well, he's throwing his fastball for a strike, and obviously his breaking ball is really hard to hit. Now, he got tired at the end, and he lost some velocity on his breaking ball and some movement. So we were just trying to get one more out. Almost got it, and yeah, that's what I saw. He's throwing both pitches for strikes now, and his fastball's 93. That's pretty good from the left side. It could be more, and the breaking ball is tough.
How much were you looking to get out of Aiden to start, and what'd you think of his outing?
Yeah, he threw a lot of strikes. I mean, he didn't walk anybody. Maybe he threw too many. They jumped at him, cheated a little bit, and I mean, they got 7 hits on him in less than 3 innings and hit a couple, 3 other balls hard. I didn't think he had his best, locating the ball, as good as I've seen him. We just saw the ball, being squared up a little too much. We just felt like we need to get him. I think he's fine, and I was glad to see him get out there and compete. I mean, it's a good lineup he's going against. A lot of rights and lefts, and there's really no easy part of their lineup. It's 1 through 9 that can do it.
I guess how good was it to see just an all-around defensive effort? Brant, Cam, Justin.
Yeah. I mean, just a really good job. That's what I told the team, we played great defense, made a couple of nice plays. It turned into a couple double plays, or at least one. And but it's when we needed it. Just an all-around good game for us. I mean, we jump up and we're up 3-1, and then before you know it, we're down 4-3. And they didn't, drop their head and think, here we go. I mean, we come in, I think we might hit another 2-run homer. We scored a couple of runs there. Got them out, came in and scored another run, 2 more. We just kept scoring. And obviously they got us out the last 3, but we did a great job, or Gibbler did, getting them out, those middle innings for us to kind of build that lead a little bit.
I know last night you mentioned just the strides that Doyle's taken, but I'm curious, how much did you maybe go back and reference the Ole Miss game last year when you faced him tonight?
Yeah, I mean, we did a good job against him last year, and he's a better pitcher than he was last year. He's older and more powerful and more polished, but it was definitely discussed and looked at a little bit, and really mostly what's looked at now is video from this year, because he's different, and throwing a lot more strikes.
Logan, lefty on lefty matchup with the home run there. I mean, how good is that to see? And it just feels like he gives you guys a different presence when he's in the lineup this year.
It does. It's better. It's a tough out, and it's a left-handed bat right after a good right-handed hitter, and he hits lefties. If you look at the splits, has a higher batting average against left than right. That just means he stays on the ball really well. Plus, he can handle the ball. He can take a walk. He can hit and run. He can bunt. It's nice to have that guy right there.
You've got Wood going tomorrow. Is he to the point where you let him go, and as long as it's going good for him?
Yeah, we'll let him roll. I mean, I'm not going to say he's going to throw 100 pitches, but we'll let him go as long as he needs to, and we'll just see how the game's going, see how he's throwing. Again, it's the number of pitches sometimes is not as important as how stressful they were. Was it out of stretch and runners all over the bases? That's you get them out a little quicker there if you're worried about numbers, but. Yeah, we'll just let him pitch.
Going back to Gibbler, he didn't even pitch the first few weekends of SEC play. Was it a matter of an opportunity because of Coyle going down, or was there something that you saw in bullpens that was different?
It was both. We were down one lefty that had, done a great job for us first 5 weeks of the season or something like that, and but it was just bringing him along, getting over the wide-eyedness and let him see it. Little here, little there, midweek stuff, and then when you start to look at the numbers, they start to add up, and you see the strikeout ratio, and he's just hard to hit. And you're kind of going, we need a swing and miss guy, and that's him. You got a runner on third, first and third, why not? We need a guy that can strike you out, and it's easier to strike somebody out than it is to get a double play ball. So that's exactly what he did for us. And then he got the next out. We still have the lead, and I think he gained a lot of confidence, and then he got us through the fourth, fifth, and I don't remember after that, but just did a tremendous job.
You mentioned him being a high strikeout guy. I mean, he only had 3 and 3 1/3 tonight. Is it good to see him get some outs in another way?
Yeah, and I thought Tennessee did a nice job. They started taking pitches because they felt like they were swinging a first pitch. It should have been a ball. They're swinging it and all of a sudden it's 0-1 instead of 1-0, and so then we start throwing the fastball, and he's sticking it for a strike, and that was beautiful. And then when he gets ahead, he can go to work on you. They did a nice job, too. I mean, they got a couple of hits where they hit the ball at the end of the bat or C&I singles, and it's not like they were just really squaring it up. And, just his development has been great over the last, 6 weeks.
You had gone 3 games without a home run for the first time all year.
Yeah.
How good was it maybe to get the big power game back going?
Yeah, I mean, I guess last night they had 4, and we had 3 doubles. That was all the extra base hits. Tonight it was, what did we hit, 3, and they hit none, and we win the game. It's hard to score in this league, and I say it all the time. You got to be able to hit some home runs, and solos usually don't beat you. I think we had a couple of 2-run homers in a solo, which was, 5 of our runs, but it was really good to hit some home runs and see that coming back, and it was nice to see Brent, really get into that one and pull it.
When Iredale started to make his dive, you're like, the wall's only this far away. I even gasped. Cause
Yeah.
What was your immediate thought?
Thank God we have Pat on that wall. That was my immediate thought. You think some of these parks, it looks pretty when it's all brick, but it's really dangerous. I mean, guys slide and hit their kneecap, and if he would have done that, it'd have been just a solid brick wall or concrete. Who knows what we're sitting here talking about right now? So, I was just holding my breath, waiting to see if he'd get up, and he didn't get up right away. I didn't feel like, he was knocked out or anything, but it was good to see him, moving around, and, he was with it over there. He knew what was up.
Hey, I know you still got the game tomorrow. You got a double bye, though, at the tournament with this. How important is that to you?
It's real important. You could look at all the scenarios of every team because they're all bunched up. And if we would have lost again today and we get beat tomorrow, then we're part of the bunch. And now with this win, we'll finish, second or third maybe? I don't know. We'll finish in the top 4. And we know that we don't play it at least till Thursday. And so you can start planning a little bit. And, so this game is real important. If we didn't win today, tomorrow's game would have been real important. Tomorrow's game is important because we want to win the series.
I know there's a lot of hard-fought games, but I feel like there's a little something extra this weekend just with how much is on the line for both of these teams.
Yeah, I think so. They came in here knowing that they needed to sweep us to pass us because they would have the tiebreaker. And then that was their thought. Once they threw their number 2 yesterday and they beat us, they probably feeling pretty good. I would be as a coach thinking, I got my guy going, and we beat their guy. And, for us to come out and do what we did offensively was big. Okay.